It's a wonderful day in my basement, a beautiful day in my basement. Won't you be, could you be my spotter? Hey, what's up everybody? I got the annoying lapel mic on today, but at least mine is white and not black like everybody else's. I'm here getting on my cycling shoes, my magic shoes if you will, getting ready to train today. Thought I'd bring you guys through a little bit of my training and talk about some stuff in terms of my own meet plans and stuff, because things are all kinds of messed up right now, and maybe talking about it will give you guys some of your own insight in case you're interested too. So I got my magic shoes on, gonna ride the Peloton. We'll check in with you guys in just a little bit. All right, so I ride the Peloton every single day. I've talked about this a couple times now. However, on the days that I train, which are 4 days a week, I only do 5 minutes worth just to kind of get the blood flowing. Do some stretching a little bit as well. I'll show you what that looks like in just a second, but like 5 minutes on. Typically I'll do like one of the warm up or cool down classes that are built into this, or I'll just do a just ride and listen to music, whatever the case may be, but 5 minutes just to get moving. So that's what I'm gonna go ahead and do now. All right, so now the bike is done. The next thing I do is I come in, I call it stretching, which it kind of is, but in this case, it's really made up of two different things. Number one is hanging. So what I found is that just hanging every day for a couple of minutes actually has really helped my shoulder mobility. It's still not great, but it is a lot better. And I think this transferred over, especially when I see it like stuff when I actually break out the strongman log. My lockouts and overhead work is just better overall. Now, I don't just come out and straight hang right away. What I do first is just kind of use some of my body weight. I'm tall enough where I still get a good stretch if I'm standing flat-footed like I am right now. So I'll go in a different couple positions. I get questions all the time about what these handles are. These ones first that I use are the Campbell handles. So I do out, then a neutral one. Then I use the Rogue squat handles, which are a little bit closer for an even closer stretch. And then just like I said, feet on the ground here, just about like 10 seconds each, just to kind of get that initial stretch before just going into a free hang. I'll do underhand as well. This one gets a really big stretch, especially like in my shoulders and my lats a little bit. Just feel it out. And then once I feel good enough, I'll basically go through that same progression, but I will actually hang in this case and get my feet up off the ground and just stay here for like 10 to 20 seconds. And again, I'll do this for all of those positions once again. Ends up taking around like a minute or two. All right, so after I do that kind of hang or whatever, I come over here, I get a kettlebell. This is just a 35-pound kettlebell, just because this is the lightest one that I own. Just get it like in a goblet squat position, and I am watching a Peloton meditation. I'll sometimes do meditation or stretching routines, just something that's like another 5 minutes, keeps me on track, and also in some cases helps just get my mind a little bit more right. But all I do from here is just basically get in my squat position with my feet, squat down, kind of work my way in, get my elbows against my knees, and just work on dropping my hips down and in, and trying to really stretch and open up my legs. Now, I've only been doing this part of this routine for probably like the last 3 weeks, but I do find that it helps when I transition to squats, that I do tend to get a little bit better depth earlier on instead of having to warm up with more sets. And from here, just kind of working over the ankles, getting my kind of feet set, feeling that stretch. After I'm down here for a little bit, just come back up, shake it out a little bit, and then reset. And I'll typically do this for like 5 sets, and it's taking around like another minute or two. So all in, 5 minutes on the bike, then 5 minutes with just hanging and trying to open up my legs a little bit. And then we just get right into the lifting, and that's all the real warm-up mobility work that I've been doing. All right, so a couple of things about today's training is technically the start of my peak. And I say that because I was initially going to do a USAPL meet at the end of October, which unfortunately by the time I went to sign up, which is about a little bit over 2 months out, it was full. So all of my training for the past 14 weeks or so has to get adjusted. There is a USPA meet 2 weeks earlier, which based off how today and this week goes, is going to really set the tone of if I can jump into that. I say that because where I was in my current programming, I should be doing a max effort week this week and then have a deload next week. And then I would then again jump into like a 4-week peak from there. But because I'm basically cutting my 2 weeks off of when I was supposed to do my meet, I get rid of the max effort week and I get rid of my deload week and jump right into the peak. So I'm feeling a little beat up. So not sure how today is going to go, but some of the things I'm going to do is I'm going to break out the Inzer knee sleeves, which I don't typically put on until I get to like 400 pounds or so, just because they're a pain in the ass to wear. And I don't typically wear those during my normal just meet prep until I get to the peak. At least that's what I did the last training cycle. It worked out well. Going to repeat the things that work out well. I am breaking out the Rogue squat bar. I've been predominantly squatting with just a 45-pound power bar because that's what the USAPL uses, or 20 kg, I should say, 29 millimeter. I did use this last week for some pause work just because I wanted to kind of get myself ready if I was going to make the move to USPA. So we're going to use this today for our top single set, which is supposed to be at 555. So I'm gonna go ahead and warm up and check in with you guys in just a little bit. All right, so I got 325 on the bar. I'm putting my belt on, but I'm not cinching it. Just like something to kind of press against, get me used to it. I try not to really wear too much of my stuff until my heavier lifts. All right, so top set 555 is done. I rated that at a 9. My lower back is kind of feeling it, and I was feeling it going into this session. In fact, I updated the Juggernaut AI app to say that I was kind of feeling tired and weak, my lower back wasn't feeling good, and I actually dropped that top set from 555 down to 540, but I really want to see if I can make it to this meet, and to do that, I'm gonna have to kind of push some numbers, because if I can't do that, I probably will just extend it and do like a mock meet at home versus actually get into a real competition. So I have some back off doubles with like 460, and we'll see how we feel after that. All right, so all back offs are done. 4 sets with 460 for sets of 2, so doubles, and they got stronger as it went on. And I think for a couple of reasons. Number one, I probably wasn't primed for my top set. Those last 2 warm-ups were basically 70-pound jumps, and I tend to do just triples to doubles to singles. I don't really do a lot of work warming up if I don't have to. I'm getting old. I try to conserve some of that energy, feeling a bit fatigued heading into the session like I mentioned, so I didn't want to necessarily tire myself out. It's a little bit of a double-edged sword because, again, the back-offs went better. And I think part of that also is too, just the fact that I got my top set done. It's a big mental relief to know that that work is done, and the back offs being 95 pounds less is definitely easier on my body, but just need to get better in that game. But overall, I think today, as far as the main work goes, went really well. I'm gonna do my other accessories, have some bench work, some quad work, whatever. I'm not gonna film that. Just wanted to get this in. I think I've already have enough fluff content to make this a 5 to 10 minute video. Don't need to be any longer than that. I'm still gonna hold off on making the decision about this meet because I wanna see how my deadlifts feel the rest of the week going heavy. Typically during Juggernaut AI, my deadlifts always feel in the gutter, and that's kind of where we've been the last month. Again, this is to be expected. It's like my 4th or 5th time through the program, and I know I always feel beat up at this point with deadlifts. Normally my squats are feeling better, and they're kind of in between right now, so let's see how deadlifts feel. We'll see how bench feels. Bench has been moving really good in terms of the numbers, but I'm starting to feel a little bit worn down here on my left side with my pec and my shoulder and a little bit of my bicep tie-in. So we'll see how that goes. It hasn't impacted the numbers at all. I've been pushing numbers that I haven't pushed, I think, ever or in a long, long time. But we'll just see how this week goes and then make the decision. If you want to see more videos like this and training videos and insights and heavy breathing by me, let me know by liking the video. That shows me if you actually like it and watch it or not. The views aren't always as telling. And leave a comment below and just let me know how you guys are doing. In the meantime, as always, thanks for watching and stay big.